Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today. My name is Crystal Olivarria and I'm the scholarship coach. And today we're going to be talking about 3 ways to streamline the scholarship application process. So to begin this video with a quote, it's by Albert Hubbard, who's an American writer. He says, "It does not take much strength to do things, but it requires a great deal of strength to decide what to do." I find this to be particularly true. So my question to you today is, are you willing to do what it takes to separate the good opportunities from the great opportunities? And now your immediate response might be, yes, of course, duh. But, if you think about what does that mean? To separate good opportunities from great opportunities requires time, energy, and effort. And to a lot of people, that equates to work. So if you think it's worth it, then it definitely is. If you think it's a great idea, but you don't take any action, well, then it's just a good idea and it's not going to get you anywhere. So today we're talking about streamlining because many people have questions about, well, when do I begin to streamline? At what process is it necessary? Should I be thinking about it? I don't know where any scholarships are. And my response is yes, it's important to think about it before you need it, because you can set things up properly from the beginning rather than having to go back and organize things later. So the concept that we're going to talk about today is the scholarship funnel. And what that means, with this handy dandy little diagram, is that you see 2 funnels. This funnel right over here is the one where it looks like you have a few opportunities coming into the funnel, and you see all the space between the opportunities. Each dot represents a scholarship, and they're different colored dots. So one could be an academic scholarship. It could also be something that has to do with perhaps your GPA, your SAT score, something you've done. And the other colored dot, the green dot, represents other activities that might be fun scholarships or scholarships that are non-academic that you might think are interesting. It could be art scholarships, photo scholarships, poem scholarships, scholarships that require essays about maybe bullying, cyberbullying, or other things. So this is what happens. A lot of people get stuck on this side because they don't know where any of the scholarships are. They're out there looking for them. They're out there finding them. A few start trickling in. And this is where a lot of people spend their effort. When you're over here, you're looking for scholarships. So you don't have many scholarships to separate the good from the great ones. What you want to do is you want to be over here where you have so many scholarships that are coming your way that you need a process to filter them and to streamline them to figure out what are the good opportunities versus what are the great opportunities. And there's several ways to do this, but certainly in the beginning you'll start by looking for scholarships, and I'll talk about this on other videos as far as where you can go to get individual scholarships, where are the secret hiding places to be looking for them. But eventually what you want to do is you want your friends, your family, your loved ones, teachers, guidance counselors to basically recruit scholarship opportunities for you and bring them to you. So on this side of on this funnel, this is where you're looking for the opportunities. Then you move over to this side of the funnel, and this is where other people are bringing opportunities to you, and that's why it takes a lot less work to be on this side than it does on this side. This side, you're spending your effort looking for the scholarships. On this side, you've made it to the point where you're spending your time sourcing the scholarships rather than finding them. And what you want to do to build momentum to get to this part is you're going to want to go ahead and create a list of the different scholarship opportunities. So you're going to want to create something that looks like this, where it's going to be the due date with the scholarships. You're going to have the date, and then you're going to have the name of the scholarships with the amount. And then you can have a little checkbox system on the side of, when you have found it, is this one that you qualified for? I put a circle around the box. Yes, we're going to qualify for this one. An X through it or a red line through it if it's like this sounded like a great opportunity, but when I looked into the opportunity, I found out that we weren't applicable. We didn't meet the requirements for whatever reason. And then we continue on. And I use this for a few reasons. One, it helps me stay organized, but 2, it's also great when you talk to other people and they see that you're taking action. The whole point is you want to provide social proof that you're doing something. You are using your time wisely, and then other people want to help you more. Because they feel like if they give you a scholarship and hand something to you, that you might not do anything with it. But they see you organizing the information and using it, they're like, wow, they're willing to take more effort to help you because they see you helping them. And in that way, you're setting off the work for someone else to do it because they're willing to do it, they want to do it, and that's part of the streamlined process. So step number one is create your funnel. Create your funnel and understand that you need to go from the side with searching for the scholarships to the side of actually sorting through them. Step number two is to create a list that you can use as social proof to other people to help engage them into why they should be helping you. You are keeping a list. You are keeping track of the opportunities. And the third thing that you want to do is create another page with even more checklists so that you can keep track of why you deserve scholarships. And make a list for academics, a list for community service, a list for work experience, and a list for recommendations. Because what's going to happen is as you start applying to more and more scholarships, you might forget an important detail, such as a great organization you work for, how many community service hours you did, an honorable mention, and you don't want to forget that. So you want to create a list that you can use as a cheat sheet, because this cheat sheet will eliminate time of you having to go back later and think about, well, what did I do? How did I get it done? And the whole point is to reduce the amount of time you need to get through these scholarships. And after a while, it'll come to you very naturally because you'll keep telling the same story over and over and over again. And that's the difference between the two different types of scholarships. One is academics or something that relies on facts. They're facts that you can use, specific organizations you've worked for, specific circumstances that you've been in that you just recite over and over and over again. And then you have other scholarships like cyberbullying where it's more opinionated and you can do different ideas. So the idea is you might want to do a combination of both just because you can get tired of doing the facts, but you also might want to keep yourself entertained by going after some of the other scholarships that might be in an area of interest to you. And one of the things that I encourage you to do is when you create your list is to put it in something like a clear plastic protector sheet, like a binder ring. And this is something that I created. It's a checklist. It's very colorful. As you can see, there's 4 different quadrants and there's 4 different areas. And the great thing about making something visual like this is that this is something that you can show other people. So it reminds them of what you're good at or things that they didn't know about you. So that when they go and search for scholarships for you, they're like, oh yeah, I remember reading about, how much community service this person did. I'm going to recommend scholarships, or I know my local Rotary has scholarships, or academics. Wow, I didn't know your grades were that high. This is really great when it comes to family get-togethers and other things like that. And then on the back, I would keep your list of other scholarships that are going because then people can see it and they might pass it around and be like, wow, this is impressive. They might tell your aunts and uncles and other people who see this might tell their children, wow, you need to do something like this. And what it does is it builds your credibility and respect so that they want to help you out even further. Because the likelihood is they want their kids to apply for scholarships, so they're going to want to make you a good example and be like, well, your niece is doing it, your nephew's doing it, your cousin's doing it, somebody's doing it, you should go back to school and follow them. And then they're going to want to make you look good by giving you more scholarships to sift and sort through. So when you streamline it, you're giving other people an incentive to give you the most amount of information possible. And over time, what will happen is they'll start to sift through the scholarships based upon the information that you find out. So the more time you take to fill this out as far as your as far as your checklist, and filling out the 4 quadrants with the academic, the community service, the work experience, and the recommendations, the more time you spend communicating clearly, the easier it is going to be for other people to figure out whether or not other scholarships are going to be a good opportunity for you. And the last thing I will say is that make